Welcome you all. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action. Quoting these lines, written by Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, I welcome all of you, galaxy of scholars, with love and vivacity to the ninth International Online Conference on Universal Human Values in Higher Education being organized during 22nd to 24th November 2K24. Our Indian culture is a diverse and vibrant culture, the culture which extends from the high mountain peaks to the lush green forests and waterfalls. In one of the oldest cultures in the world, which is more than 5,000 years old, we also have a glorious tradition as a civilization with holistic knowledge and values, which the whole world has witnessed since the dawn of human civilization. In that very sequence of ancient tradition of making knowledge accessible to all you learned participants representing different countries and cultures are heartily welcomed and greeted again in this ninth International Online Conference on Universal Human Values in Higher Education. Welcome. Current Education 4, which emphasizes on industrial revolution, collaboration, and interdisciplinary skills, has its own merits and demerits. But the Future Education 5 demands educational transformation, keeping in mind holistic, emotional intelligence, and lifelong learning. In this view, the theme of the conference, Value-Based Education for Humane Society, including SDGs, having three panels, Holistic Value-Based Education, Holistic Human Health, and Addressing SDGs at the Root is of much significance. And here, a total of 22 organizing partners are stakeholding with one thought and one resolve for this conference. Let's welcome these 22 organizing partner patrons who are themselves or whose points of context are present with us in this rehearsal. Very first, we welcome Professor C. Muthumishwaran, Vice Chancellor, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, as generous host of this conference. Welcome, sir. Other organizing partners contributing wholeheartedly are Professor T.G. Sitaramji, Chairman, All India Council for Technical Education, Dr. R.K. Agrawalji, Director General Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad, Professor S. Srinivasa Murthy, Director, Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, Dr. S. Vishwanath Rao, Principal, Mar Basilios College of Engineering and Technology, Tiruvananthapuram, Dr. Santosh Bhosle, Director, Maharashtra Institute of Technology, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, Om Dorji Om, Executive Director, Youth Development Fund, Thimphu, Dr. Jigme Thinle, Director, Bhutan Institute of Wellbeing, Thimphu, Dr. Sajeev R., Principal in Charge, TKM College of Engineering, Kollam, Dr. Vasudevan Durai Rajaji, Principal, PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, Chennai, Dr. K.A. Muhammad Junaid, Principal, RMK Engineering College and Technology, Chennai, Dr. K.A. Muhammad Junaid, repeated, Dr. Manoj R. Tarambale, Principal, PVG College of Engineering and Technology, Pune, Professor Pradipta Kumar Nandaji, Vice Chancellor, Shikshao Anushandhan University, Bhubaneswar, Dr. Pooja Agrawalji, Pro Chancellor, Shri Ramswarup University, Lucknow, Professor Renu Vijji, Vice Chancellor, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Advocate Amit Sharma ji, Chairman and CEO, and Dr. Gaurav Tejpal ji, Principal, Amritsar Group of Colleges, Amritsar, Dr. Sushil Kumar Mittal ji, Vice Chancellor, IK Gujral, Punjab Technical University, Kapurthala, Dr. Shashi Dhiman ji, Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh Technical University, Hamirpur, Dr. Manish Gaur ji, Director, Triple IT, Una, Professor J.P. Pandey, Vice Chancellor, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, Professor Sanjay Srivastav ji, VC, Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad, and Shri Ashish Kumar ji, CEO, and Shri Praveen Gangrade ji, Director, Rajya Anand Sansthan, Bhopal. We welcome all these organizing partners with pride and gratitude. Now, this is minutes of this inaugural rehearsal, in which we have two eminent speakers of global repute, Professor Rajneesh Arora ji and Professor Ganesh Bagaria ji with us. We also plan to interact with some of the organizing partners about their preparedness and concerns till now. With this, now I feel immensely happy to invite Professor Rajneesh Arora ji to share his wisdom about the conference and bless us. Rajneesh sir, humbly handing over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to have all of you to this 9th International Conference on Human Values in Higher Education. And I'm very happy that I have been given this responsibility to share with you my journey in this endeavor of human values in higher education. Actually, we had 8 conferences. Rajuji?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
sorry, Rajnish. Sorry. In this, you said you'll share answer to 3 questions. So there's only one question over here. What are the 3 questions?
The 3 questions which are there for me: why am I here? What are the experiences which I would like to share with you? And the third one is the overall background of these international conferences. I'll share. I had some questions in my mind, and in search of those answers to those questions, I was really fortunate when I was a student of PhD in my pre-PhD courses. I had that opportunity to attend the first batch of course Science and Humanism, which was offered at IIT Delhi by Professor R.R. God and Professor P.L. Dhar. During that course, we found that there are many more things which we are to learn as engineering students if we are to be successful in this whole life. And then I went to tribal areas. I was not aware how all these courses are being evolved at IIT Delhi. But when I became Vice Chancellor in Punjab Technical University in 2009, during a Board of Governors meeting at IIT Delhi, I came to know that there is a book on universal human values by Professor R.R. God. There was a presentation, and we decided there itself that we will introduce this course in our own university, in Punjab Technical University. We started with a national seminar in Punjab. It was organized at NIT Jalandhar. And then we participated along with our officers and teachers at IIT Kanpur in a faculty development program with all the senior team of more than 20 participants from Punjab Technical University. And we were all enthusiastic that it will be right thing to introduce in the curriculum. It will provide answers to the questions which the students are facing these days, those who are studying in engineering curriculum. We introduced this course in 2011 academic council, and it went very well with the students as well as the teachers. We had encouraging feedback. If you go to the Universal Human Values Foundation website, you will find many videos, many feedback of the students as well as teachers. There's no time that I can share with you all the details about it, but the links are there in my presentation also. And not only that, we also had an opportunity to host such kind of international conference in 2014. And then in that international conference, we had participants from Pakistan also. There were 6 participants. Their feedback, their interview is also posted, is also available on Universal Human Values website. You can see the links over there. And they said that this content and the way this Universal Human Values has been introduced can also be introduced in Pakistan also. There's no issue, because the way it is being delivered to the students, it's very much universal, it's rational, and it can be easily taken to all regions, to all religion background or cultural background students. So there's no issue about that. And we really got very encouragement from the responses from the students and the participants in that international conference here. Now I'll share with you some more issues in that, Rajulji. We started this journey of international conferences in 2012. The first conference was in IIIT Hyderabad. Second was also in IIIT Hyderabad. Third, which I was referring to you, was held at our place in Punjab Technical University, Kapurthala. In 2015, it was organized in Bhutan. In 16, it was in Rajkot, Gujarat. And in 17, IIT Kanpur. 2018, again it was organized in Bhutan. And 2019 was in Varanasi. And after that, we had a break because of COVID pandemic. Yes, we could not meet physically then, but we got that opportunity to meet online, and that was much more extensive kind of thing. We could reach to the 237 universities. More than 82,000 faculty was trained by the online faculty development programs. And during that period itself, we could find more than 500 committed volunteers out of that process. And now, after that break from 2019, we are organizing this 2024 conference. It is a different kind of conference. Here we are reaching out to much larger audience. It's a worldwide online conference, and it's a conference with a difference. Generally, when we talk about international conference, then the things which come to our mind, generally it will be very expensive. You will get paid, or you will have to pay a hefty amount. Or there will be very huge operations in organization. You have to arrange accommodation, you have to arrange travels, you have to arrange so many seminar halls, conference halls, this and that. It will be organized in big international 5-star hotels. It will be a big fanfare. It will be an event. And after event, we all find that we all get exhausted. Okay, it's a big thing. Now let us take rest. On the other hand side, this international conference, which is worldwide online conference, it has a unique character. It's a conference with character. The organizers have no money. They are not having money. They are not organizing it because they have big budget. It is fully volunteer based. You neither get paid and you are also not expected to pay for this conference. But there is a purpose. And that purpose is, it is inspired by to find answers to your questions, inspired by meaning and purpose deep within, to explore within yourself. There is support from family. You can't back out. You have all the support, but that support is voluntary based. It is not an event, it is a process, which is a continuous process. You come with preparation, and from the conference, you get ready for the next step in your life, in your all the kind of activities. And here we all are organizing partners. As it was mentioned that we have 22 institutions which are partnering in this whole conference with the leadership of SRM, which is a conference host with us. So I was just sharing with you what are the differences, what is the different character of this whole international conference. Now, just to just recall about the purpose of this international conference, it is an annual conference for educators, those who are involved in the process of education, either as teachers or as students. It is aimed at developing a shared vision and action for human education, and through that, the emergence of a humane society in which the well-being of all is realized generation after generation. So this is the purpose, and we see there is a possibility that we can realize this purpose. Our basic effort is for mainstream education, that is holistic and value-based education. That means it is holistic, it is universal, it is rational, it's verifiable through practice. It is humane, that means leading to harmony at all levels, at individual level, at the level of family, at the level of society, and at the level of nature. So these are the basic guidelines for holistic and value-based education. And with this education, it results into fulfillment of individual goals for happiness and prosperity through the development of human consciousness, which is based on an understanding of existential harmony. There is harmony in the existence itself, and with the understanding of this existential harmony, we can fulfill our individual goals of happiness and prosperity. And next is a resolution of problems at the root, to have holistic, solution-centering, problem-solving approach based on an understanding of existential harmony. When you understand the harmony in the existence, then with that understanding, you get a problem-free life as such. And that education of this harmony is really important to have resolution of problems at their root. Third is humane society in which the well-being of all is ensured generation after generation. It's not just for the time being kind of thing. It's not the a solution just for time. It is to have well-being for all, generation after generation. And this online worldwide conference, we have seen a possibility for the much needed civilizational change. We all feel that need within ourselves, need for a civilizational change. We want to share this possibility broadly with educators, and we are sure that we will find the same encouraging response which we found in earlier conferences also. Because of that, we have evolved to this stage. And with this, I hand over the things to the next speaker. And I'm sure that it will be a successful event and leading to the next steps in our education process. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajneesh sir, for giving a complete view of this unique conference, aiming understanding of existential harmony, solution-centric approach based on this understanding, and its result as humane society ensuring well-being of all. Heartfelt gratitude, sir. If you wish to interact or share our reflections with Professor Rajneesh sir, Chairperson NCCIP, sir is available to respond. We have 2-3 minutes for interaction. So kindly raise your hand quickly if you wish to share or interact. Delegates are invited for sharing, for interacting, for reflecting. Need to raise hand, please. Thank you so much, sir. You are truly.
Okay, good. I think in rehearsal we will not have many questions. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me see whether Ganesh sir, our next speaker, is here with us or not. Pranam sir, hope you are available. I'm not able to see sir connected here.
I think we are ahead of time because you were supposed to take 15 minutes. I was also supposed to take 15 minutes. We have to see how much time
is
was
available.
there for me.
Yes, that may be the reason.
Certainly, yes.
Okay.
So
Am I
let's
audible?
Professor Bagaria sir, a well-known personality for his simplicity, knowledge, and strong commitment to introduce value education in mainstream education. A real guru through his state of conscious and acharya by the way of his living. Inspiration for all of us.
Okay.
Inviting you, Ganesh sir, with folded hands to guide us for the upcoming international conference, please. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. My slides are visible.
So your video is visible. Slide is not still visible to us.
Namaste, sir. Slides needs to be reshared. Actually, you were sharing in back.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah, now it's visible, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving.
So welcome all the participants. Continuing with what Rajneesh ji shared about his experience with universal human values and his effort on implementation of this in his university PTU. The purpose of this international conference, I'll briefly mention, is aimed at developing a shared vision and action for human education and for the emergence of a human society in which well-being of all is realized generation after generation. So from time immemorial, our effort has been to develop a society, a human society in which well-being of all is realized generation after generation. And our assertion is that this can be made possible only through a holistic vision and action for human education. So our basic effort is for mainstream education that is holistic and value-based. That is, it is holistic, universal, rational, verifiable, and humane, leading to harmony. This will result into three things. Number one, fulfillment of individual goals for happiness and prosperity through the development of human consciousness. And this development of human consciousness is made possible through human education and sanskar. And the core content of the human education and sanskar is understanding of the existential harmony, which is already there. Resolution of problems at their root. So this holistic, solution-centric, problem-solving approach based on an understanding of this existential reality will result into the resolution of the problems that we are facing today, not only in terms of symptoms, but at the root. And finally, we'll have a human society in which the well-being of all will be ensured generation after generation. And this is going to be a natural outcome of this human education, this holistic value-based education. So to clarify what this solution-centric approach is, we have two possibilities of approaching, our existential reality today. One is that we go with the problems, right, or their symptoms, and then search for the solution of those problems, most likely at the level of symptoms only. And such solutions are very temporary in nature. On the other hand, the solution-centric approach is based on, number one, the clarity of all-encompassing resolution, then effort for this all-encompassing resolution. This is the main part of it. And in the light of this all-encompassing solution, we can do the analysis of the problems that we are facing today. And then we can also make effort to get rid of this root cause of these problems. So you can ask yourself, which one would be a better approach, a problem-centric approach or solution-centric approach, right? And then in solution-centric approach, all these four steps are important, necessary, or something can be left out. And if we are working for all four of them, what is going to be the order? We begin with 1 and 2, and in the process, as and when necessary, we also work with 3 and 4, right? Or we start with 3 and 4, and time to time we work on 1 and 2. So we can ask this question to ourselves, and we can also compare with what we are doing today. So of course, our recommendation or our experience has been that ultimately we have to work for 1 and 2, right? And this is a long ongoing process, working for this all-encompassing resolution. And in the light of this, time to time, the problem that we are facing, we can do the systematic analysis of those problems in the light of this resolution. And then we can make effort to get rid of these problems, at that point of time. Some of the example which we can take to demonstrate this basic idea, and which will be apparently, kind of extensively discussed in the conference in terms of 3 panel sessions running parallel, right? One is the panel on SDG. Right? So let's take one example from SDG, the other example from health, and third example from education, which are the main theme of the conference panel discussions. So if you go with the present approach, which is solution-centric, problem-centric approach, what we are doing is we are working on programs to increase GDP, okay, for SDG 1, that is no poverty. So your SDG 1 says this Sustainable Development Goal, United Nations SDG says the first goal is no poverty in the society. Now, the effort that we are making is increasing the GDP. And we can see that a whole lot of effort has been made to increase GDP, right? GDP has increased. If you look at this diagram below, GDP has increased, but the poverty remains. The poverty remains and it has many side effects. And one of the interesting outcome is that the consumption pattern of the poor has gone down and that of the rich or rich most has gone significantly up. So for the poor, it has gone down from 2.5 to 2, and for the rich, it has gone up from 20 to 27. So the inequality, which was 10 times, has become almost 15 times. Right? Through the solution-centric approach, what we perceive is that we'll work for a system that aims for prosperity in every family, right? Not just increasing the GDP. And if you look at this effort to work for prosperity in every family, it has many components. That is, we work for education so that everyone can identify their needs. Education such that there is a feeling of relationship, trust among all. Education so that every family has the skills for sustainable production and can produce something that is required for the society. And we develop this relationship-based exchange system, which is focused on ensuring the fulfillment of needs of all the people. Then we have prepared people for right utilization. And with all this put together, we'll have feeling of prosperity in every family. So this would be the solution-centric approach to solve the problem of no poverty. This, of course, we'll see quite in detail when we have the panel discussion on SDG. The second example is that of the health. So if you look at the health issue and the way we see it or approach it today, our focus is on the health of the body. And there also, the focus is largely on early detection and test of the disease. And given that disease, we are trying to sustain with the disease through taking the medicine or the treatment. So that is the focus of the whole medical science today, right? If you look at the solution-centric approach, we begin with the health of the self, right? Because it is the self which has the responsibility to take care of the body, to nurture the body, to protect the body, and to rightly utilize the body. With that feeling of responsibility in the self, it can take care of the body. And for that, we need the self to be healthy. So that is the first thing. If we really want to work for the health of the body, we have to begin with the health of the self. Then with the health of the self, we can now work with the health of the body. And if you look at the health of the body, there are 4 parts of it. The first part is taking care of the intake and the routine, then taking care of the labor and the exercise, Then taking care in terms of postures for regulating internal and external organs, and also regulating the breathing. This all together will be able to keep our body healthy. But despite all this, if there something goes wrong and there is some problem with the health of the body, then we take to this 4-1, right? So in the fourth, we have this part B and C that we are doing today. So what we are doing today is going to be an integral part of this 1 to 4, right, which we are doing for the health of the body. And at the base of it, we have the health of the self. Then this health of the self and health of the body can be maintained with the health of the environment. And if we look at the health of the environment, it includes the family in which we live, the relationship, the environment in the family, then the society and the nature. So we have to ensure the health of the family, the society, and the nature to keep ourselves and the body healthy. So a solution-centric approach would take care of all this together. Similarly, if you look at the education, right, what we are doing today in the name of education is largely skill-based, skill education. What we are proposing as a solution-centric approach is a holistic, value-based education. If you go with the skill education, it at the most addressing the needs of the body. And in that education, the right understanding in the self is not in the focus. The capacity to live in relationship with other human being is also not in the focus. Right? The core focus is to accumulate more and more, to consume more and more, rather than to produce what is required and utilize it rightly. With the holistic value-based education, we'll have the right understanding in the self. We'll have the capacity to live in relationship with other human beings. And we'll also develop the capacity to identify the need of physical facility. And this will include the skills and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required. Then whatever we have produced, we'll rightly utilize that physical facility. And this all put together will lead to feeling of prosperity. So at every level, and 3 examples that we have taken at the level of SDG, at the level of health, at the level of education, like that, every level we can see what it would result if we go with the solution-centric approach. So if we go by the solution-centric approach, what we can do is, or what we are trying to do is clarity, having the clarity of all-encompassing regulation, which includes recognition of human goal in its completeness and the program for its fulfillment. The second is effort for all-encompassing education. The first effort is for the human education and sanskar, followed by human conduct, human constitution, and human order. And if we do this, this will take care of our goal and fulfillment of that goal, in which we'll be free from the problem. But if there are problems on the way, we will make the analysis in the light of this all-encompassing regulation and make effort for getting rid of these problems at the root. 1 and 2 is going to be a continuous process, an ongoing process from generation to generation. 3 and 4 is going to be temporary, time to time, as and when these problems crop in, we'll take care of them. So what we are doing is we are working on holistic solution, right, and efforts to realize our aspiration through these 5 human goals that we have identified: right understanding and right feeling, leading to happiness in every individual, health in every individual at the level of body, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust in society, and mutual enrichment with the nature, with the whole environment. So we can see ultimately this is the human goal, right, which we have to ensure the fulfillment of. And if we take care of all these all these problems which are mentioned in SDG can automatically be taken care of. I'm not going to go to the details, but in the panel discussions and in the main presentation, all this will be discussed in detail. And these 5 goals can be fulfilled or ensured by working on all the systems in a human society, which includes at least these 5 aspects: the education sanskar, the health and self-regulation, the production and work, the justice and preservation, and exchange and storage. And this can be realized through the process of self-development, team development, and societal development. This is interesting that all this effort will begin with our own self, through our own self-development. And that therefore is a major focus. But self-development alone would not suffice, right? Because when we want to work for the human society, we start with the self-development and we go for the team development and the societal development. And any effort that we are making, for the society will call for this team development. So if you look at this team development, which is a very important part of this, making effort for the solution, there is a significant role and importance of the volunteers, right? Those who want to work for a human society. So if you look at this team development, right? Of course, the self-development is at the base, right? But for any collective effort like this, team development plays a very significant role, right? And team development means we develop to work as a family, right? So this team development is based on relationship and 3 aspects in relationship: the clarity of relationship, the commitment for relationship, and the competence to fulfill relationship among the volunteers, and the commitment for a human society through human education for the well-being of all. So when we are working for a collective effort like this international conference, right, where we are working to take this whole effort to the nation and the whole world, right? This is possible only through the team which is working as a family, based on relationship. And this relationship calls for this clarity, commitment, and competence, right? And of course, each one of us has this commitment for human society through human education for the well-being of all. These 3 things, clarity, commitment, and competence for living in relationship, is very significant, because in the absence of this, majority of our efforts fail. So majority of such effective collective efforts disintegrate or even fail for the lack of this relationship among those involved in the process, right? And this failure can be either at the level of clarity of relationship, or commitment for relationship, or competence for the fulfillment of relationship. So this is a very significant thing, and this effort on international conference is going to be a very, live example that success of this conference will depend upon how ready we are in terms of our self-development as an individual, then how much we are able to relate to each other, how much we are able to involve into this collective activity. And that collective activity, as I said, would depend upon what is the clarity of relationship that we have, each one of us, what is our commitment for this relationship, for this team, and what is our competence, right? So this will be a real-time test for all of us as volunteers to test our clarity, commitment, and competence to live in relationship with each other, and work together. Of course, there is a significant role and importance of the host and organizing partners, because they basically provide the base for such efforts on human education through holistic value-based education. So they are the living model of this human education, okay, on the basis of which we are able to see the possibility of, universalizing it, taking it to the whole world. Second, they have the responsibility to develop and promote such volunteers, right? So most of our volunteers are, as mentioned, working pro bono, and they are being developed and promoted by these, host institutions. And they also are important to provide the necessary resources and encouragement for this whole effort. So as Rajneeshji was mentioning, that ours is an effort where there is no, formal organization, we would say, no, resource as such, but all of us put together, all the organizing partners and the host, these institutions put together, are making the effort for a major task like this international conference. Okay, and I can say with assurance that this effort will be successful, because it is based on our own self-development and based on our working on relationship with clarity, commitment, and competence. So with that, I'll complete my sharing with all of you. I wish a very successful completion and successful outcome of this international conference. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. You truly said that in absence of solution-centric approach, we have limitations, and focusing maximum is trying our best up to problem-centric approach only. And we could see a vast possibility with value education for solution-centric approach, sir. You also shared that individual development, team development, and societal development are interrelated and complementary. We are committed to make all sincere efforts to all three dimensions, sir, keeping individual development in center. We all are feeling assured with the content of universal human values based on seeing the realities and also the process of self-exploration, sir. Thanks for always being us for hand-holding in this progressive journey of universal human values. Gratitude, sir. Heartfelt gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We have some time for sharing our reflections or raising questions. One question with earlier speaker that is there. I'm reading this question, or if Prashanti is able to unmute, he can ask himself this question. Sir is available to answer. Prashant Bhaiya.
Ji. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, Dr. Upasana. My question earlier was to Rajneesh Arora ji.
Yeah, Rajneesh ji must be there, I think.
Okay, or Ganesh ji also can answer. My question was very simple, Ganesh ji.
Yeah.
How long means we all are doing with this clarity, commitment, and competence? So how long it will take right now for at least for India to develop everywhere the human society? It was my simple question. Thank you. Ji.
I feel 100 years is a reasonable time.
Ji.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Because this is something which is going to go on for generations. And we are looking for a holistic, solution.
Ji.
So it will take time, but I think that if it takes 3 to 4 generations to reach to that state of undivided society and a universal human order,
Ji.
this 100 years is reasonable. But the effort that we have made, if you look at the whole society, the effort is very minimal, but the results are quite significant.
Okay.
I would say that over last 20, 30 years, that effort which has been made has been very minimal. But the outcome is that at least we are able to reach to, thousands of teachers and lakhs of students, right? It has become an integral part of the higher education, particularly the technical education, right?
Okay.
So with a very minimal effort, such outcomes have been possible. So I think that if, and to begin with, there were very few people, right? I mean, in terms of tens of people. Now we are thousands of them.
Ji.
We
Yeah.
have
Thank you.
100 times.
Ji.
So if it goes like that, I think, in 20 years, another 20 years, there will be a significant progress. But I think, 100 years is a reasonable period for a civilizational change that we are thinking of.
Ji. Ji.
So we have already taken some 30 years.
Yeah.
Now another 70 years, I think we'll be able to take it to the whole world. And
Ji.
this international conference is one such effort in that direction.
Thank you. Thank you, Ganeshji. At least I myself can work at least for coming 30, 40 years. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you have to work for 30, 40 years, and then you have to prepare your students
Yeah. Thank
10
you.
times. Huh?
Ji.
So you have to multiply yourself 10 times in these 30, 40 years.
Thanks a lot. Namaste. Okay.
Okay,
That's very
namaste.
nice. Nishant Bhaiya, commendable commitment. Thank you so much.
Ji, Didi. Thank you.
As per schedule, if anyone from organizers, partner side wish to share some reflection or wish to raise any concern, so you are most welcome. We have,
Akbari Jahanji has raised her hand.
yeah.
We can take that, and we still have 6 minutes. And then, of course, organizing partners are the bedrock of this conference. So certainly their observations are valuable at the start also, and as we go along at the end also. So most
Yes.
welcome.
Sure.
Akbari
जी
Jahan.
नमस्ते जी नमस्ते सभी को आई होप आई एम ऑडिबल टू ऑल
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have actually regularly checked Ganesh's video in YouTube. So I'm so fortunate, today I got to talk to him live also. So thank you for this opportunity. Ganesh, I have one simple question here. We have discussed a lot regarding, whatever we have discussed today. But every time we see the news, there are so many disturbing things happening around us, right? So how do cultural interpretations of universal human values differ across the societies?
What was the last sentence you said?
My question is, these cultural interpretations of UHV, how do they differ across different societies?
You mean how do they perceive UHV?
Yes. Different
Yeah.
cultural interpretations are there, right? So what is
Yeah.
your opinion about it?
Yeah, our observation or even experience, I would say, has been that this UHV has gone across the whole country and also extensively in Bhutan and Bangladesh. The observation is that these basic universal principles are accepted by all of them, without any, I would say, any major disagreement. That is number one.
Ji. Ji.
Number two, many times what they may feel uncomfortable sometime to begin with is probably the expressions and the language. Okay, because if it does not match with their language and their expression, then there is some uncomfortability to begin with. Okay, but every time this happened, it was possible to solve it by way of dialogue, right?
Mm.
A dialogue which is founded on relationship. For example, when we started this in Punjab Technical University, which Rajnish was mentioning, right? At one point of time, in one of the colleges in it was a SGPC college, and the person who was presenting that workshop, it was an 8-day workshop for the faculty members, and the person who was presenting it, somehow this, the message went to the teachers that we are asking them to verify everything on their own and not take any clue or guidelines or guidance from the scriptures.
Mm.
And
Yes.
this made them very sensitive about it. Okay. And then there was a lot of, discussion and, questions and all. And, but it all got settled down because the teachers who were already going through this process and who were teaching this course, when there was an interaction with these people who belong to the Sikh community, right, asking them as to what they feel about this, UHV, they asserted that they have been going through this and this has helped them to understand the Sikhism better and also to practice Sikhism better.
Ji.
So rather than being a barrier, it is a great help. And one important thing about this is that this UHB can be brought to the mainstream education. Right? Because we are not able to do this otherwise. That is, they were saying that we are not able to take it to our children, right? Otherwise, okay. But through UHB, we are able to approach our students in a very comfortable manner. So this was one experience. A similar experience was there in Bhutan, right? So, and other, kind of cultural this thing, many of them. But every time there was this question, we could, enter into a meaningful dialogue through this process of relationship. And it was resolved and it helped, in fact, to accelerate the process.
Ji.
Yeah, so that has been our experience.
Ji. Couldn't agree more, Ganeshji. And yes, what you have rightly said, it is not impossible, but even I also feel that, it should not sound preachy at times because there is a limit for that also. So, yes. Thank you. Thank you for the response, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akbariji. Thank you, sir. Thank you, both of you speakers, to make it a very enriching session for all of us. Thank you all the participants for joining it and making it live with throughout interactions. Now it's time to join panel discussions and enrich that is too with your vision and active involvement. You are free to join any of the panel discussion of your choice where moderators and panelists are joining hands together to extract some meaningful conclusions after discussion. Please join in next 2 minutes. This panel discussion will be for an hour. After that, we will take half an hour dinner break and then again reassemble for next panel discussion of an hour. So let's quickly join panel discussion of our own choice. 4 rooms are there open for panel discussions. So every attendee as well as panelists are requested to join panel room of own choice, please. Thank you so much for making it valuable session. Thank you.
What you need to do is to go back to the lobby, Alt tab, and go back to the lobby, and then go to the panel of your choice. If we end the session now, you will automatically be going back to wherever you started from or whatever screen you were there on last. So I'm going to end this session now.